Well guys, what do you think of my St. Patrick's Day avatar? Let me know in the comments. Just what you know. I'm not celebrate that holiday since I am not from America. I am India. Oh. It's you Molly Peterson. Who was the one who hurted my feelings for my 14th birthday by calling me a ugliest girl and wished me and Go Animate Dude 74 a unhappy 14th birthday back in September last year along with Roslina. Hey you Molly Peterson. What are you doing here this time at my house? Are you going to doing the same thing as September last year, which is 2021? Where are you calling me a ugliest girl ever in the world again?
You are the ugliest girl I've seen in Mr.
No Rudrani Roy. Listen here. I am not going to call you a ugliest girl again just like what I did back when it is your 14th birthday back in September last year, which is 2021. Well, I have to admit my wrongdoings for what have I done to you and your friends back in 2020 up to early 2022. First of all, me and the gang who used to be the Molly gang has now becoming Ogami gang after I left my own gang got IKHWA and the game house PC boy 2000 arrested on his 20th birthday back in November 8, 2020. Second of all, me and Lily made have fun with Sarah crying by made an advice message to people who are planning to wish her a happy birthday back in April, which is Sarah is still 14 years old girl at the time back in April 2021, which is 2 months before her 15th birthday, but this time I will trust you, Sarah, and all of your friends in not misbehaving again like back in Ramadan 2021 during Ramadan 2022, which is coming soon after St. Patrick's Day is over. Since I am now improving my behavior for what I've did in the past 3 years I guess, trying to apologize to all of the people, including you and your friends on Eid Outfit 2021. But me, Happy, Lily, Carla, and Althea blew it up. Which is I regret going way too far when people denying my apology during Eid Outfit 2021 along with the girl that I have mentioned that before. Third of all, back in March 2021, me and Happy, who are used to be my bestie misbehaving at Zinkiger's first episode premiere. But, this time, I will watch the final episode of Zinkiger, and behaving good during Don Brothers' first episode premiere coming in March 6th this year, although I am now no longer be friends with Happy from Happy Holy Kids since I left my gang for good, which has already changed that gang name to the Ogami gang. Since Marina Ogami, aka Let's and Go Max characters has joined my remaining gang out there. Fourth of all, me and Roslina, aka Army Cup Animator's sock puppet hurts your feelings on your birthday by calling you the ugliest girl, and wished you and Go Animate Dude 74 a unhappy 14th birthday back in September last year. Which is I regret doing that along with the Shamrock sock puppets, which is also that I'm being very rude and disrespectful to you and Go Animate Dude 74 on yours and Go Animate Dude 74's 14th birthday along with Roslina. I always thought that Superstar Luna, aka Cat Neon Party City's fake fictional girls' girlfriends deserved a happy birthday more than you and Go Animate Dude 74 on September, when in reality, you, along with Go Animate Dude 74 actually deserved a happy birthday more than Superstar Luna on both September 18th and September 20th. And I will wish you and Go Animate Dude 74 a happy birthday on September 18th this year instead of wishing you and Go Animate Dude 74 a unhappy birthday again for the second time in a row. Fifth of all, me and Carla, who is also used to be my friend's bestie, but not anymore. Giving Star Jesus the TV show Boy 2K5 a hate base by inspect element 3 of his videos about your friends' birthday videos, so people can wish Star Jesus a unhappy birthday instead of wish Star Jesus a happy birthday back in October last year, which is 2021, and sixth and finally, back in January of this year. I'm beaten up Cad Neon Party City 8625 and Elias the rapper Animator 2K3 so badly on their 19th birthday along with Karen from the Go Animate universe. Which is I'm regretted as well, will you forgive me? Roy Chan aka Roy Chowdhury? If not, that's fine. I am not going way too far again just like back in I'd Outfit 2021, when people denied my apology. And this is just the beginning of the new chapter of IKHWAN's version of my series.
It's okay Molly Peterson. Plus, you have to behaving good at Dom Brothers, aka the new Super Sentai series' first episode premiere and not doing the same mistake during Senhaigra's first episode premiere. And you have to be on your best behavior during Ramadan 2022 and not going way too far during Ramadan. Eid al-Fitr and Easter 2022. Also, your apology is now accepted since you've already left your gang a few weeks ago and improve your behavior for your own good.
Well, Roy Chowdhury, thank you so much for accepting my apology for my wrongdoings that I did back in 2020, 2021 and 2022. Also, I'm now starting to change my ways from bad to good on IKHWAN's channel. You're the best Roy Chan, but I forgot to mention about my wrongdoings from the past 2 years is where I'm turning Rachel Ellen into Julia the Tata fan, and makes the snowing meet some friends with Rachel Ellen because of Julia manipulated people to hate Windows Bubblegum Lover 6020 back in August 2020.
It's fine then. Let's go. You are invited in my house. And we will dance into the Indian songs with our Sarah outfit arbiter. By the way, I've updated your Sarah outfit arbiter Molly.
Well, Roy Chan, thank you so much for inviting me into my house and accept my apology of my wrongdoings from the past 2 years. You're the best.
Hi guys. It's Sequin the Game House PC Boy 2000 once again. And before I'm ended up the videos. And I just wanna let you know that I'm now changing my avatar for St. Patrick's Day since March is coming. And by the way guys, I'm already updated Molly Peterson's avatar since I'm now starting a new chapter of my Molly series since you guys voted yes the most on my recent polling community post. And credits goes to Jaden Carter the Vyonder 2K8 and Super Hyde Wolf for their version of Molly Peterson. And credits goes to my bestie Kit Neon Party City 8625 for the updated Molly Peterson avatar in Comedy World as well. And I'm now like her since she's now becoming a non-troublemakers and improve her behavior. And if you still neutral, or hate Molly Peterson, I can handle your thoughts on her. But anyways, that's all for now I have to say. This is me, Sequin the Game House PC Boy 2000, over and out. Peace to you all.